A Bad Case of Tattle Tongue, Reader's Theater. Story written by Julia Cook. Josh had a big problem with tattling. In fact, he tattled all the time. He tattled so much that everybody called him Josh the Tattler.
Josh tattled on Tommy when he butted in line in front of Felipe.
Tommy got in front of me.
In class, Josh tattled on Carson when he took Josh's new pencil and wouldn't give it back.
Carson took my pencil.
Josh tattled so much that nobody wanted to sit by him during lunch. He had to sit by himself at the end of the table.
At recess, Josh tattled on Bobette for not sharing the tricky bars with Edith. Nobody wanted to play with him, so he had to stand on the wall alone.
At home, Josh tattled on his dog Max because he chewed up his mom's new rug, even though Max did not do it on purpose.
Mom, Max chewed up the rug.
Josh even tattled on his brother Teddy when he grabbed the TV remote right out of his hand.
Teddy took the remote.
Joshua Jacob Jones, I'm sick and tired of your tattling. If you don't stop tattling, you're going to get the tattle tongue.
Tattle tongue? What's the tattle tongue?
Tattle tongue is really bad. Tattle tongue will make you sad. Your tongue turns yellow, then starts to itch. Before you know it, you'll start to twitch. Your teeth will begin to scratch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. Purple spots will start to show upon your tongue, and then you'll know the tattle tongue is what you have. And tattle tongue is very bad. Oh, and by the way, each time you tattle, your yellow and purple tongue will get longer and longer. It may get so long that it won't even fit in your mouth.
Josh ran to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and stuck out his tongue. His tongue was not yellow, and it did not have purple spots on it. Or did it?
Josh leaned closer to the mirror to get a really good look. His tongue didn't look any larger, and it seemed to fit in his mouth just fine. Still, he couldn't be sure.
The next day, Josh heard Billy, the bully, tell Tommy that he was going to beat up Edith after school. Josh ran up to his teacher, Mr. Cool, to tell on Billy. Working, doing some teacher stuff here.
But when he opened his mouth, he remembered what his mom had said.
Yeah, what's going on, Josh?
Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy.
I think you better go to the nurse.
Then Josh slowly returned to his seat. After school, when Josh saw Billy the bully stomping towards Edith, he knew that Billy was going to do. He had to tell somebody. Josh went up to Principal Gates, who was standing on the corner.
Yep. Hi there, Josh. How's it going?
Josh opened his mouth to tell on Billy the bully, but then he thought again about what his mom had said.
Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy. I forgot.
Then he turned around and walked home. That night, while Josh was sleeping, the Tattle Prince paid him a visit.
Joshua, I see you have a big problem with tattling.
Josh looked at the Tattle Prince, who was staring at his mouth. Just then, his tongue began to itch. Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy. Josh sat up, looked in the mirror, and stuck out his tongue. He gasped. He had the tattle tongue. His tongue was yellow. It had bright purple spots, and it definitely was longer. It didn't even poke through his lips when his mouth was closed.
But this time I didn't even tattle. I didn't tattle on Billy the bully. I wanted to tell, but I didn't. I held it all in.
That would not have been tattling, Josh. That would have been a warning. Edith could have gotten hurt.
Warning, tattling, what's the difference?
The difference is danger. Was Edith in danger?
Yes.
Then you should have warned someone. The other day, when Tommy butted in front of Lana Felipe, was Tommy or Felipe in danger?
No.
Then that, little buddy, was tattling, and that is why your tongue is sprouting those lovely spots. You obviously have not learned the tattle rules.
There are rules for tattling?
Oh yes, there's rules for almost everything. It's gets quite annoying. But if you want to get rid of those spots on your tongue, you will follow these rules.
The Tattle Prince reached into his pocket and pulled out a fancy piece of paper. It was the Tattle Rules.
Get there. Right. Rule number 1 is be a danger ranger. If you see a person or animal in danger, you must tell someone. You must warn them. When Edith was in danger, did you warn Principal Gates?
No, I was trying not to tattle.
That was not tattling, Josh. That was a warning, and you should have told someone. Rule number 2, be a problem solver. If the problem involves you, take charge and try hard to solve it yourself first. When Carson took your pencil, did you ask him politely to give it back?
No, I told Mr. Cool. Then all of my friends, even my best friend, Stuart, got mad at me.
Small wonder. Yes, that was not a good thing to do. Rule number 3. Now or later, is the problem a now problem or a not now problem? Is it something you can solve at a later time, or must it be solved now? When Carson took your pencil, did you have another one you could have used?
Yeah, but it wasn't my cool new pencil.
Was it a pencil you could write with?
I guess so.
Then that was a not now problem. You could have used your spare pencil until Mr. Cool had time to talk with you alone about your problem. Rule number 4. MYOB. Mind your own business, or beeswax. If your problem is not dangerous and it does not involve you, do not tattle.
What do you mean?
The other day when you tattled on Bobette for not sharing the tricky bars with Edith.
You know about that too?
Oh yes, we have spies everywhere. What do you think gave you the tattle tongue? When it comes to you and tattling, I know everything. The Bobette situation was not dangerous, and it had nothing to do with you, so you should not have tattled. Joshua, do you think you will enjoy having a weird-looking tongue that keeps getting longer for the rest of your life?
No.
Then learn, kid. If the problem is not dangerous and has nothing to do with you, do not tattle.
Yes, sir.
The tiny prince grinned at Josh, then he took a tiny scepter from his belt and began to wave it in the air. He pointed the scepter at Josh's mouth, and with a puff of yellow and purple smoke, he disappeared. Josh felt something strange in his mouth. He stuck out his tongue and looked in the mirror. There, stuck at the end of his tongue, were pieces of yellow and purple glitter. When Josh woke up the next morning, he flipped on the light, ran over to the mirror, and stuck out his tongue. No yellow tongue, no purple spots, no itching, no glitter. His case of the tattle tongue was gone. By the time Josh got to school, he was feeling pretty good about himself. With the Tattle Prince's help, Josh was now an expert on the subject of tattling. When Josh's class lined up in the morning to go to school, Eddie pushed Josh and then cut in front of 2 other kids just so he could eat first and Mom. Josh remembered his mom's words. Okay.
Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy.
Then he remembered the Tattle Prince's rules. He decided not to tattle. Stuart noticed right away. He asked if Josh would sit by him at lunch.
Maybe he will even ask me to play at recess.
When Josh walked into the classroom, he couldn't believe his eyes. Mr. Cool had gotten so tired of everyone tattling on each other that he had written his own tattle rules on the board. Mr. Cool reached into his briefcase and pulled out a shiny new pointer. Just as he pointed to the first tattle rule, something sparkly fell to the ground. Was it? Could it possibly be? It was! It was yellow and purple glitter! After Josh's visit with the Tattle Prince, he never had problems with tattling, and he never worried about getting tattle tongue again.
Itchy, itchy, scratchy, scratchy, twitchy, twitchy, catchy, catchy.
The end.